So we've just arrived in Adelaide. Here's a quick setup in time-lapse of the Jayco J-Pod. We're staying at a beautiful campsite in Adelaide in a town called Hahndorf. Hahndorf is a German town, small village actually, in Adelaide, and we'll show you around Hahndorf later, but first we'll show you around the campsite and the facilities.
So, welcome to Hahndorf, South Australia. If you've seen our earlier videos, you'll see that we're road tripping and we were talking about our Jayco J-Pod. So earlier in the video, you would have seen a time lapse of us setting it up, and we just wanted to show you inside. So come on in. So this is our site for the next 3 nights. We're in a beautiful little German-influenced village in South Australia. So if you come inside, we have a little annex area which we bought as an addition, as an extra to the J-Pod, which just gives us a bit of extra living space. So if you want to actually look in the living area, this is where we tend to kind of just hang out, chill out, eat dinners. We've got kind of all our electrical stuff in here as well. We've got kettle, we've got toasters, so we've got proper power points as well, which is quite unique for just a little camper trailer. A lot of them just have USBs. We've got kind of a little tray where we can kind of put all bits and pieces on, and then so we've got all this spaciousness, and this is like the main trailer itself. So you can see it's got a double bed, it's got a mattress, it's got loads of storage underneath. We've got our fridges there as well, if you can just catch them. And we've got plenty of unit space as well, to be able to put windows, skylight, fan, full electrical points as well, so we can do all our charging and everything else. So this is the inside. It's really comfortable. We always get a good night's sleep. We just kind of shut down the door on a night. But it's really lovely and spacious. And I think Darren is going to take over and show you the boy stuff.
Hi, right, let's go through. I'm going to kind of take you through the back of the van, the pickup, and then we're going to go into. So the first thing was we had to change this here because you've got normal ball one, but you actually got a pin, so you clip it on. So that's quite important piece of kit there. The other thing as well, we got these hooks. Saves so much time to the hooks because rather than having to screw it on, it just makes it much easier. And then you've got the pin for the power. So that just means that when you're driving along, you've literally when you're braking, your lights work. And we always have to do a little bit of a test before we go left, right, brakes. Anyway, we always test that. That works quite well. So that's it as far as that's concerned. No other modifications. We didn't need to put new mirrors on because the actual trailer's the same size as the car. So let's just have a quick look at the trailer itself. So obviously that's the pin hook there. We've actually got a lock on here as well, which is quite helpful. So that means obviously nobody's going to steal it. These were the new hook locks that we got on there, so quite easy. And by the way, we found out on our way in here why these chains are really useful. When we'd set off, the pin hadn't been clipped in. Won't go into too much detail why that didn't happen. It doesn't matter. Needless to say, about 50 yards before getting to this stop, the whole thing fell off the rack and hit the floor. A couple of guys came in and helped us out. Anyway, so that was good, and we managed to get things going again. Obviously, that's your gas bottle. That's off at the moment. The gas bottle powers not only the gas for the cooker itself, but it also powers hot water. So every time we just clip the pump on, and we've got our own little shower unit in here. Just want to have a look around here. So you can just pull that out, and that's your little shower unit, which is pretty good. This is the actual boiler unit itself. So that's where obviously the boilers work. We've obviously got mains here, so we can plug directly into the mains. So when we're using it, we can just use the mains directly. But we've got a great big water tank under there as well. So we always keep the tank topped up, so that if we never have any mains, and we did have that a couple of places, we can just use their own tank. Obviously, power supply here, it's a powered site. If we don't have that, we have to rely on the solar, which is on the front. The one thing we did find out with solar, by the way, and we probably need to get an inverter, is that's only good for charging things like USB points. The actual power sockets don't work off the solar, something that we found out. What else can I tell you? Toolbox. Let's have a look at the toolbox. So, essential power drill, really important. Makes it so much easier for kind of drilling in your pins and also jacking up the actual pickup, brushes, stuff like that, and all your pins knocking in as well for clipping down. Couple of bins. Jerry can came in so helpful. Well, could have been necessary because we only got down to 11 kilometres of fuel before we would have run out. So that could have been like a lifesaver. I think that's it really.
Stabilisers on the back.
I'll show you the stabilisers on the back. You just need to make sure that the stabilisers are in place whenever you park up.
There's a wheel under there too.
Yeah.
And the chuck.
And the chuck.
Stops everything rolling.
There we go. That's pretty much it. Oh, just one thing on this canopy. This is one of these Ironman 4x4 canopies. It's I think it's a 270, if I remember rightly. Brilliant piece of kit. If you get one of these, it's kind of an essential thing, and we prefer it because it wraps right round the back rather than round the front. Because don't forget, when you're cooking, and I'll show you the cooker here quickly, when you're cooking, you don't want this to be underneath your canopy, otherwise it's going to potentially be dangerous. So this pulls out, and here's the cooker. So you literally just have to coil it round, plug it into there, make sure your gas is on, and here you are. You've got a cooker in there, twin burner, and the sink as well. So once the pump's on, this obviously gives you hot and cold flowing water. That will just run off the mains at the moment, but when you're running off the tank, you can just run straight off the tank. But you need the pump on to get that working. You need the pump on and the gas to get the hot water, and the gas obviously for this. Another essential piece of kit I would recommend you get is a fully covered windbreak. You just literally concertinas up and you put that around there. Otherwise it's impossible to do any cooking outdoors. All right, that's it. We'll leave it there. Cheers everyone, bye bye.
So we've shown you quite a bit of our camper trailer, but thought I'd also show you some of the facilities. Just zoom out a little bit. This is one of the better camps we've stayed at, but they obviously have all the facilities and amenities that you use. So these are the showers, plenty of showers, all cleaned regularly. So you've got all the cubicles, all the sinks, all the way along, and then plenty of toilets as well. How good is that? And this is right by our camp as well. So happy with that. This is all the facilities. We have a swimming pool, kids trampoline over there. And then tonight, they've put on some entertainment. They've put on a band. So we'll probably get to meet a few of the other campers. How good is that? Kids are all having a good time, aren't they?
So we've had a look around the campsite in terms of some of the leisure facilities, but here is a bit of a look into the kitchened aspect. So you kind of get, this is brand new by the way, so it's beautiful. Look at this, it's pristine and clean. So this is where you get your opportunity. Obviously you can get coffee, by the way. I just had a coffee from there. It actually wasn't that bad. I was quite surprised. Obviously you can wash up all your pots and pans, so that makes it a little bit easier than having to do it in your own facilities. Want to put anything in the fridges, that's fantastic as well. Obviously you've got all your cookers. I cooked something on here last night actually, it was really easy. I mean, even though you've got your own cooking facilities on the camper, it's also nice to have this as well, because it's just much easier, obviously for preparing. But you can just see this is pristine, it's beautiful. And this is the view, so you can come and sit on these benches. In fact, last night we had a few people sat on these benches with their friends, obviously coming from different campers. And we've got a big barbecue there. Look at that beautiful mist, you can just maybe see that over the valleys, the Adelaide valleys. It's beautiful. Let's zoom in a little bit. You can see just over there as well. Okay, I just thought I'd just show you around the kitchen facilities, which you can see is very versatile and ready to use. Okay.